Someone said something to you today. Maybe it was a comment, a tone of voice, a look, a message they didn't send. And somehow, without touching you, without doing anything physical, they completely hijacked your mind. You've been replaying it for hours. That right there? That's the thing Marcus Aurelius spent his entire reign trying to defeat. And he left us a roadmap. Because the most powerful man in the ancient world had the exact same problem you do. And he figured out how to stop it. Here's what nobody tells you about being controlled by other people. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to threaten you, chase you, or even be in the same room as you. All they have to do is exist, and your own mind does the rest. A passive-aggressive colleague, a critical parent, a friend who never texts back, an ex who moved on, a stranger on the internet with a bad opinion of you. You give them rent-free space in your head, and they don't even know they're living there. This is the trap. And it's not a weakness, it's biology. Your brain is wired to care about what other people think. It was survival once. But in the modern world, this ancient wiring is making you a prisoner of other people's moods, opinions, and behavior. The Stoics saw it clearly. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they all pointed to the same solution. And it's not about becoming cold or not caring about anyone. It's about learning the difference between what is yours to carry and what isn't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Plain English. Other people's behavior is outside your control. Your response to it is not. The moment you confuse these two things, you give your mind away. Think about the last time someone's mood wrecked your day. Maybe your boss walked in cold and sharp. Maybe your partner snapped at you over something small. Maybe a friend canceled plans without explanation. Your nervous system read the signal, and your brain started spinning. What did I do? Are they angry? Did I say something wrong? And just like that, your entire inner world became hostage to someone else's state. Here's what Marcus knew. That person's behavior is data about them. It is not a verdict on you. Their bad mood belongs to them. Their insecurity belongs to them. Their silence belongs to them. You are not responsible for carrying what isn't yours. The habit that breaks this. When someone's behavior hooks you, ask yourself one question before you react. Is this mine to carry? If your boss is stressed, that is his stress. If your parent is critical, that is their wound. You can respond with care, but you are not required to absorb it as your problem. Your mind is your home. You get to decide who you let in. Epictetus wrote, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things." Plain English. The moment you start performing for other people's approval, you hand them the controls. Being free means being willing to disappoint people sometimes. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most of the time you feel controlled by other people, you're actually controlled by your need for their approval. You soften what you say, so they won't be upset. You agree when you disagree. You don't set the boundary because you can't stand the idea of them being disappointed in you. You work late, not because you believe in the project, but because you need them to see you as dedicated. You shrink. You perform. You edit yourself. And every time you do, you teach your brain that their opinion is more important than your truth. You reinforce the pattern. You make the cage smaller. Epictetus was a slave, literally owned by another person. And somehow he was the freest mind in Rome, because he understood that your soul cannot be enslaved unless you consent to it. Nobody can make you feel inferior, afraid, or small without your agreement. Not permanently. You get to revoke that agreement anytime you choose. The habit that breaks this: start small. Say one true thing today that you would normally edit. Not harshly, just honestly. Disagree once, gently. Express a preference you normally swallow. Notice what happens. Usually, nothing collapses. The world doesn't end. And you feel something unfamiliar. The steadiness of a person who is not waiting for permission to exist. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is your power to choose your response. In your response lies your growth and your freedom." Plain English. Something happens. You feel it. But before you act, there is a pause. That pause is where your freedom lives. Most people skip it. Don't skip it. Here is where most people lose the battle every single day. Someone says something triggering, and they react. Immediately, automatically, emotionally. The text comes in, and they fire one back. The snide comment arrives, and the sarcasm is out before they even think. The passive aggression lands, and they match it. Reaction is unconscious. It is the body running on autopilot. And when you react automatically, you are not in charge. They are. Response is different. Response requires that gap. Even one breath. Even 5 seconds. That gap is not weakness. It is discipline. It is the practice of asking, is this reaction going to serve me? Or am I about to hand this person exactly what they wanted? A rise out of me. Marcus Aurelius was dealing with senators who lied to his face, generals who betrayed him, and a plague that killed a quarter of his empire's population. He was surrounded by people who wanted him reactive, emotional, and predictable. He refused, not because he didn't feel. He absolutely felt it all. But he chose his response. He wrote in his journal to process what he felt before he acted on it. That journal became meditations. That habit became his power. The habit that breaks this. The next time someone provokes you, in person, in a message, anywhere, do not respond for 10 minutes. Not because you're ignoring them, because you are choosing your response instead of defaulting to a reaction. 10 minutes. Go for a short walk. Take 10 deep breaths. Ask yourself, what do I actually want to happen here? What response moves things forward for me? Then respond from that place, not from the spike of emotion, from the clarity that comes after it. Here is what you are going to do today. It is simple, and it will immediately shift the dynamic. Step 1. Identify the person who has the most power over your mood right now, not the most important person in your life, the person whose behavior most often hijacks your inner state, the one you think about, the one who can ruin your morning with a single comment. Step 2. Write down the specific thing they do that triggers you, not the whole relationship. Just the specific behavior. She dismisses me in meetings. He goes silent and I panic. She compares me to other people. He never acknowledges what I do. Step 3. Ask yourself, is this mine to carry, or is this data about them? Write the honest answer. Most of the time, what they're doing is a projection of their own fear, insecurity, or habit. It is not a verdict on your worth. Step 4. Decide on your response in advance, before they do the thing again. Next time she dismisses me, I will not shrink. I will calmly restate my point. Next time he goes silent, I will not spiral. I will give him space and focus on my own work. You are rehearsing freedom. That's what Stoics did. They thought through their response before the crisis came. So when it came, they weren't scrambling. That's the practice. It's not about becoming cold. It's not about not caring. It's about being so grounded in your own values that other people's behavior can land, can hurt even, but it cannot control you. You've spent too long letting other people live rent-free in your head. You've shaped yourself around their moods, their silences, their approval. You've given away something that was never theirs to take, your peace. Marcus Aurelius understood this at the deepest level. He ruled an empire, but his real work every single day was ruling his own mind. He had enemies, betrayers, critics, and he chose, day after day, not to let them write the story of his inner life. That is the practice. That is Stoic elevation. You cannot control what people say. You cannot control what people think. You cannot control what they do. But you have full authority over one thing: how you respond. That authority is always available to you. Nobody can take it. You can only give it away. Stop giving it away. If this landed for you, subscribe. Send it to someone who's stuck in someone else's drama. And tomorrow, practice the pause.